Tonight on CTV News at 6. Costly behavior.
Stunt driving is one of the most dangerous and reckless behaviors on our roads today.
Provincial police are seeing it more often. She's out $10,000.
They were going to freeze my account, and I needed to take the funds out of my account, or they would be frozen.
A Timmins woman is warning others about an e-transfer scam. And with services centralized in Sudbury.
Just seeing a little bit of crowding. And again, with crowding, you do have different personalities, different people. There can be some tensions.
Will people at this encampment downtown get the help they need?
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening and thanks for being with us on this Tuesday. A shelter-in-place remains in effect at Brunswick House First Nation near Chapleau following a shooting over the weekend. Anishinaabe police were called to a home Sunday afternoon and found an injured male. Police say they are searching for a male suspect. Motorists traveling near the First Nation and Chapleau area are advised to remain vigilant and avoid unnecessary stops. One person was killed in a crash near Parry Sound late last night. Provincial police say the single vehicle collision happened at 11 p.m. in Carling Township. The cause of the crash is still unknown. Well, a busy weekend for provincial police in the North Bay area. Throughout the long weekend, officers were cracking down on driving offenses in a long weekend blitz. CTV's Eric Tashner has more on what shocked police.
Over the long weekend, OPP across the province charged 137 drivers for stunt driving. 8 of those incidents took place in the North Bay area, leaving police concerned.
Stunt driving is one of the most dangerous and reckless behaviors on our roads today.
Stunt driving is defined as going at least 40 kilometers over the speed limit on roads with a limit less than 80 kilometers an hour, or going over by 50 kilometers or more when the limit is above 80. But it's not just speeding that can land you a stunt driving charge.
Other components of stunt driving is aggressive lane changings, losing traction of the wheel, which is also known as burnouts or donuts, having someone in the trunk, and one of the last ones is racing the green light, where you're trying to turn left on a green light and you're racing oncoming traffic. According
to annual Ontario driver statistics, the number of license suspensions for stunt driving increased by 130% between 2013 and 2019. Under Ontario's Highway Traffic Act, stunt driving results in the vehicle being impounded for 2 weeks, a 30-day license suspension, fines of up to $10,000, 6 demerit points, and possible 6 months of jail time. It's not just that. Insurance on vehicles will dramatically spike.
You will quite likely find yourself as a high-risk driver. And that means the premiums that you're paying now could very easily double or in some cases triple. Those premium increases will continue for 3 years.
Follow the rules of the road, follow the speed limits.
The police's message is really simple. Drive smart, drive safe, and make it to your destination. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A motion headed to Greater Sudbury Council next week calls on the province to compensate the city for the loss of speed camera revenue. Councillor Bill Leduc's motion says removing the cameras will cost the city money, both for the physical removal and in lost revenue. It is in response to Premier Doug Fort's plan to force municipalities to remove speed cameras, which he calls a tax grab. Municipalities that use the cameras had hoped Ford would at least allow them in school zones, but the Premier rejected that idea. A Timmins woman is sharing her story about how she was scammed out of $10,000 this summer because she thought the caller was from her bank. That story from CTV's Lydia Chupak.
In June, Jessica Fraser got a call from someone claiming to be a TD Bank employee. He told her her account had been compromised and she needed to safeguard her money and e-transfer it to another account.
They were going to freeze my account, and I needed to take the funds out of my account, or they would be frozen. I was going on a planned vacation the next day, and I went immediately into a panic.
The caller guided Fraser on how to go about transferring her money by logging into her mobile banking app and sending herself $3,000 through a phone link. She says she was then transferred to a TD Easy Line employee to increase her e-transfer limit.
I've gotten a written copy of that where I clearly identified fraud, and the agent proceeded with the call per normal, increasing my limits and doing everything, so further making me think I was talking to the bank.
During that conversation, the call got disconnected.
And the fraudster came back on, and I remember saying to the fraudster, "You cut him off." And one of the statements TD has, and I have it recorded, is they will make every effort to call back their customers. Nobody called me back. And the statement that was given to me by the fraud department was, "We don't call back customers that drop calls and hang up on us." How do you know that the call dropped? I didn't hang up. And why was my limit still increased after the call disconnected?
Fraser lost a total of $10,000 and says TD Bank has been of no help.
I think they've failed in doing their due diligence for me as their customer and protecting me. I'm at fault as well. I'm partially liable. I made a poor decision in a heat of a moment in a call that I should have recognized some things. But ultimately, I spoke to a bank employee and said there's fraud.
In an email to CTV News, a TD Bank official says, while we are unable to share specific details regarding individual investigations due to privacy obligations, I can confirm this case was reviewed thoroughly via appropriate internal channels at the bank, and the matter was assessed objectively and in accordance with our policies and procedures. Fraser says she immediately reported the crime to the Timmins Police Service. Timmins police would not provide an interview to CTV News, but says a 54-year-old woman from Montreal has been charged with fraud over $5,000 and possession of property obtained by crime over $5,000, and says there's a warrant out for her arrest. The Ombudsman for Banking Services and Investments is now reviewing Fraser's case and says it could recommend that TD Bank compensate Fraser for her loss, but it's ultimately up to the bank. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Officials with the City of Greater Sudbury are confirming there are more than 200 people living outdoors in 50 locations. The plan this winter is to offer expanded services at Energy Court. CTV's Alan Everson reports.
Right now, this trailer at Energy Court offers daytime services for the homeless. On November 1st, it will operate 24/7 and offer expanded services.
The option of having a 24-hour service means that during the daytime, a number of our community partners, including the city-operated client navigators, can meet with people there. They know where they are, they can engage with them. The Go Give project also offers some other services there. Crisis support, de-escalation, overdose prevention.
The city confirms the encampment at Energy Court is growing, and that no structures are allowed at any encampment site.
It is strictly tents, so we do receive complaints about structures, but when we are in the area conducting regular cleanups, we're also assessing for risks and coming up with solutions on how to mitigate them. So that may involve removing structures, it may involve removing other hazardous materials such as combustibles.
The city funds the services at the trailer at Energy Court, with the Go Give project as a service provider. It's seeing the increase in people living there firsthand.
At this point, we're just seeing a little bit of crowding. And again, with crowding, you do have different personalities, different people. There can be some tensions, some violence, which is something that we're seeing, but we're also reporting as we see.
The city confirms it's currently working on a security plan for the Energy Court encampment site, in collaboration with the Greater Sudbury Police. Elena Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A warning from Public Health Sudbury and districts. Toronto's drug checking service has identified 2 new substances circulating in Ontario's drug supply. The first is an opioid as strong or stronger than fentanyl. The other is a benzodiazepine, also not approved for pharmaceutical use. Health officials say the use of them increases the risk of overdoses, and multiple doses of naloxone may be needed. New data released today from the Canadian Medical Association shows that physicians are struggling with high rates of burnout and depression 5 years after the onset of the pandemic. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Releasing data from its 2025 National Physician Health Survey, the CMA says 46% of physicians report high levels of burnout, down from 2021 at 53%. And still significantly above 2017 levels at 30%.
We know that there's there's a shortage in access to care. So that means that us that are remaining in the system have an inordinate amount of work and patients to manage. Another important part is administrative burden. So doctors are spending a whole lot of time not actually doing what we came into this to do, which is to manage patients face to face. We're spending up to 10 or 11 hours every single week just on writing notes and other administrative tasks. And this is higher among family physicians.
The data also underscores solutions to improve physician wellness. For example, 59% of respondents who use it say AI decreased their time spent on administrative tasks.
I think there are many ways to address this. So one would just be a very solid recruitment and retention effort in terms of having more physicians in the system. But it goes beyond that. It's about doctors really being able to help lead and shape the healthcare system that we work in.
Dr. Michael Green is the president of Nossum University. He says the school is doing everything it can to support student and faculty wellness. But he says a lot of these numbers are due to the circumstances people are working in.
Microaggressions and real aggressions and abuse that some physicians are suffering in emergency rooms and other locations and places of care, which we know also affects other health professionals as well. I think also the moral distress of not being able to help people as quickly as you want, dealing with things like long wait times for specialists or emergency rooms being overcrowded and feeling frustrated with not being able to deliver the care at the level that you'd like.
Encouragingly, 65% of physicians access at least one wellness support, up from 54% in 2021. The survey included responses from over 3,300 practicing physicians, medical residents, and fellows surveyed between March and April of this year. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Well, a Highway 17 roadside attraction near Sault Ste. Marie has recently received a facelift. As CTV's Corey Nordstrom tells us, for much of the year, it had looked like a bite was taken out of the sea monster.
A landmark outside of the Soo may resemble a creature that died out long before the Ice Age, but a harsh winter almost spelled the end of the Sugo Pogo.
In this area, it's the snow belt, so he had so much snow we couldn't tell where he was, and when the driveway got cleaned, he got damaged.
For at least 50 years, the roadside display has served as a signifier that travelers are nearly in the border city. Annette Kennedy's family has been its owner for almost 4 decades, and she says fixing it up felt like the right thing to do.
It's been here for so long. Years ago, there used to be a rock shop, so it was kind of a side of the road tourist attraction, and it was for the campground also. And I mean, there's been so many people that have grown up out here or have passed by, and when they seen he was damaged, and we were actually talking about maybe tearing him down, people were kind of didn't really want to have that happen.
Thanks to Kennedy's son and grandson, the Sugo Pogo's body is fixed up. It has a fresh coat of paint, and it's evolved to grow spikes out of its back. She says the reception has been great, and they're back to getting daily visits by both travelers and locals wanting to see the concrete creature.
They park here, they take a picture of him, they have people who stand in front, some families put young kids on their back. Quite a few years ago, it was mid-November, and a fellow stopped by in shorts, cowboy boots, and a hat, put a rope around the neck, and he pretended he was hauling him away. So all kinds of little funny antics that I noticed.
Kennedy adds next year she plans on continuing the improvements of the Sugo Pogo. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Hayden Township.
The Canadian Real Estate Board says Sudbury and Timmins saw record home sales last month. In Sudbury, the dollar value of all homes sold was a record $146.8 million, up almost 18% compared to the same time last year. Meanwhile, Timmins came in at $44.3 million, up around 10%. To read more about this story, head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. We're coming off a sunny weekend, so how is the week shaping up? To tell us more, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
Well, Tony, as we just saw, it's a great time to check out the Sugo Pogo. Yeah, okay, we've been having fun with that all day long. Systems map right now, we've got some sunshine left in the forecast for a couple of days, and then the rain will set in by Friday, Saturday, continuing into Sunday and Monday as well. So looking good for the next couple of days. We'll take a look at our 7-day forecast a little bit later on. We've got a great pick of the day. But first, our current temperatures, you'll be delightfully surprised, Tony. Nice night to be out. A little cool, but it is that time of the year. We'll have details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. The city of Greater Sudbury is looking to get the opinion of Cape-Real residents about a potential move. City officials are considering relocating the Public Library and Citizen Service Center to the Millennium Resource Center. The public is being invited to attend an open house tomorrow night. There will also be an opportunity to view conceptual designs and share feedback. Residents are also being invited to submit their input online before the end of the month.
You know, I'm hoping to see some positivity from people. I know people don't really embrace change very easily, but, you know, council's tasked with making some really tough decisions about asset management and the amount of assets we do take care of, and it's really expensive.
The open house gets underway tomorrow between 5 p.m. and 7. Service resumes. Still to come on CTV News at 6. Unionized workers at Canada Post end their nationwide strike, instead go to rotating walkouts. Right now, though, let's head to Elliott Lake and the boat launch. This live webcam is courtesy of the city of Elliott Lake, and it looks like all the vessels are out of the marina for the year. It's 14 degrees. We are back in a few minutes.
Tonight, beer from Canada filled with methamphetamine.
It was very confined. I could barely walk around.
An innocent young man dead.
He was screaming out, "I'm dying, I want mom. I'm dying, I want mom."
W5 investigates a sophisticated Canadian meth pipeline.
Just this tonnage coming away out of Canada.
How criminals here are getting away with it.
He's obviously trying to lose us.
Tonight on CTV National News and CTVNews.ca.
Canada Post mail delivery resumed today, with workers returning to the job as the union shifts from a nationwide strike to rotating walkouts. The strike began September 25th, the second in less than a year after the federal government announced plans to restructure Canada Post, which is on track to lose $1.5 billion this year. Timmins transit workers voted to accept a contract over the weekend, potentially ending the strike that began last month. The labor dispute began when 39 full and part-time employees walked off the job last month. Members of CUPE Local 1544 said they were striking in support of service workers who were not offered the same deal. The city said its offer included a 4.5% raise for drivers and 8% for mechanics. City Council in Timmins is expected to vote tonight on whether to accept the contract. If it's approved, a plan to resume transit services would follow. The Ontario government is launching a new commercial to air in the U.S. with the hope that those words will resonate with Americans. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
This is a new Ontario ad against tariffs that the government hopes will capture the eyes and ears of Americans.
Rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
Using the voice of former Republican President Ronald Reagan to make the case. The Premier showed it off before a speech in front of the Empire Club in Toronto.
It's not a nasty ad. It's actually just very factual, and coming from a person like Ronald Reagan, every Republican is going to identify that voice.
The cost of the ad, $75 million, hitting stations like Fox, NBC, ABC, ESPN, CBS, and many local affiliate stations over the next 2 weeks. Using words from that 1987 address from Reagan to emphasize the damage of tariffs and trade wars.
Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
We're going to repeat that message to every Republican district there is, right across the entire country.
Doug Ford's been trying to do some of that outreach on a one-to-one basis, hosting governors, including at least one Republican.
We're proud of the relationship between Utah and Ontario.
But these are leaders already aligned with Ford on tariffs. This ad spend is bigger than the last Made for the U.S. campaign Ontario launched just over a year ago. That one was about $50 million and doesn't look to have moved the needle. Still, the finance minister insists it is worthwhile to keep speaking out against tariffs in the U.S.
They don't help. They drive prices up. They hurt jobs. So I think we're going to not relent in telling our perspective to the American people.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Some exciting news in Kirkland Lake. After being cut off from vehicle traffic for more than a decade, the Barron Street Bridge is coming down. Last year, Public Works had determined it wasn't even safe for pedestrians. The town is hoping to receive funding for its mitigation efforts, specifically to replace the twin culverts at Earl and Pine Streets. Securing that funding would allow the town to install a large culvert on Barron as an alternative to a bridge. There's no word yet on a cost, but officials add a culvert will cost less than replacing the bridge.
So it would be lovely if the province was able to afford us some financing through that provincial stream. However, regardless of funding or no funding, we do want to work towards reclaiming that area.
Town officials say they are committed to finding ways to install the culvert and reopen Barron Street to both vehicles and pedestrians within a few years. Back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Rick.
Tony, nice night too. You've got about another half hour or so if you want to rake leaves in the dark. I do that all the time. It's a job that's got to get done, but we've got some precipitation coming up. Just a couple of days, so 2 more days of beautiful sunshine. Let's take a look at some of the temperatures right across northeastern Ontario, beginning in Moosonee as always. 8 degrees with the cloud. We've got Cochrane partly cloudy at 7, Timmins sunshine at 10, Kapuskasing partly cloudy at 9. Chapleau this hour 10 degrees, cloudy or some sun and cloud. Wawa sun and cloud as well at 10. Sault Ste. Marie, nice night there at 10 with the sunshine. Parry Sound 16 with the sunshine. Beautiful night there as well. Let's have a look and see what's going on in North Bay this hour. 15 with the sunshine, 13 in Temiskaming Shores, and 11 in Kirkland Lake. How about Sudbury and Nickel Belt? 15, some sun and cloud. Espanola 15 with the sun. Elliott Lake 14 with the sunshine, and Gore Bay, beautiful. Manitoulin Island 14 degrees with the sunshine. Tony, your 7-day forecast and our weather pick of the day goes to North Bay this evening. Stick around for that and more coming up in just a couple of minutes' time.
Thanks, Rick. Additional tariffs on Canada next on CTV News at 6. The U.S. government is once again targeting our softwood lumber and timber products. And the Blue Jays are heading to Seattle down 2-0 in their series against the Mariners. The Canadian softwood lumber industry is grappling with an additional 10% global tariff. There's already a 25% levy on some wood products. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more.
Despite that positive meeting at the White House a week ago, those U.S. tariffs on Canadian wood and furniture took effect at midnight, and people in the industry say it's already hurting. Some are calling it devastation on top of an already bad situation. With new tariffs taking effect today on lumber and some furniture, the head of one company is worried about his firm's future.
We used to employ 400 people. Now we are less than 100. That was before the 45% duties.
With the additional levy added at midnight, lumber producers now face 45% tariffs on softwood. There's also a 25% tax on furniture like kitchen cabinets and vanities. On January 1st, that will double to 50%.
This additional tariff means that Canadian wood has a higher tariff rate going to the United States than Russia does.
The Canadian Kitchen Cabinet Association represents 3,700 companies, and many of their goods go south.
Some of them were exporting up to 80% of their product to the U.S. I mean, you know, some of these companies employ 500 people, and they just can't turn around on a dime.
The association wants the federal government to institute a Buy Canadian provision on taxpayer-funded housing projects to favor local companies, while the forestry industry wants Canadian and American negotiators to make lumber a priority in the ongoing trade talks.
We get this is complex. There are a lot of balls in the air here. But in the last week, our workers in forestry are not feeling like we're a priority.
In an interview this weekend on CTV's Question Period, Industry Minister Melanie Joly said the federal government is focused on negotiating deals for all industries affected by tariffs, including lumber. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Rescue crews are searching for survivors of landslides and flooding that have killed dozens and left dozens more missing in Mexico's Gulf Coast and central states. Trained sniffer dogs are combing through mud and debris, searching for people still missing after last week's torrential rains. More than 100,000 homes have been impacted by the flooding that was triggered by a tropical depression that came at the end of the rainy season. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Tony had a look at the calendar about 2.5 weeks to go until the time change coming up. Mark this down. First weekend in November, it'll officially kick in with that time change on Sunday, November 2nd. Forecast radar right now, we're looking awfully good. For the next couple of days, no precipitation, but then it arrives Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and will continue. So again, we'll keep a close eye on that over the course of the next couple of days. Let's take a look now at our temperatures overnight. Clear skies in Sudbury, 2 degrees. Sault Ste. Marie at 5, partly cloudy. Timmins -2, partly cloudy. Temiskaming Shores at +1. North Bay at 2 with a few clouds in the forecast. How about Moosonee, -2, partly cloudy. Caphurst -2. Wawa 3. Gore Bay, the hot spot at 7. And Parry Sound 3 with a few clouds as well. Now our 7-day forecast, those numbers. Wednesday, Thursday, 12 and 14 with the sunshine. Forget about it after that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we've got precipitation in various forms, 60% chance of showers, some showers, 40%, and your temperatures 12, 16, 12, and 13. That is above average. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, mainly sunny tomorrow at 13, 15 Thursday, sunshine. Then we've got precipitation for 4 consecutive days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and 14, 16, 12, and 13, all above normal for this time of the year, your daytime highs. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing? Pretty well copy and paste. A couple of days of sunshine, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 and 12, then 4 consecutive days of precipitation at 60%, 40%, showers on Sunday, and 60% chance on Monday. Those temperatures, 11, 16, 12 degrees. Now there's Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. Mainly sunny tomorrow, 11, 12 on Thursday, sunshine. Friday, chance of showers at 11. 40% chance on Saturday at 17, 13 Sunday with showers, and the chance of showers Monday, 60%. Your temperature 12. That's 2 degrees higher than normal for this time of the year. And a look at North Bay, West Nipissing, mainly sunny tomorrow at 11, dropping down to 1 tomorrow evening. Also 1 on Thursday after a day of sunshine and a high of 13. Friday and Saturday, chance of showers at 60 and 40%. 13 and 15 your highs. Sunday, Monday, showers and the chance of showers at 60%, 13 and 12. So again, those temperatures above normal, but that is going to change because we are heading into the tail end of October. And again, once again, we'll start to see a cool down in terms of our daytime highs and our evening lows. How about our pick of the day? Mary Willard sent this in. Lake Nipissing waterfront. She sent it in yesterday and said, "What do you think, Rick? Is this a keeper for the pick of the day or not?" And Mary, it is a keeper because I liked it yesterday. That's why I said we'll use it this evening. Perhaps someone else's pick will be on tomorrow. Give it a scan, get it on. We'll see what we can do. Stick around. Tony has more news coming up after the break. Time now for another edition of Ask an Expert. CAA's Rachel Lalonde is back tonight with more on travel preparation for the fall and winter. Rachel, welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
Let's begin with some pro packing tips to cut down on the amount of luggage you need to bring. My wife's got that problem.
Yeah, you got to be realistic. Just pack what you need. Don't pack what you want necessarily. Don't try and cram the whole wardrobe in the suitcase. Pack things that can mix and match. You can always, change up the pants with a different top and whatnot. It makes it much easier. Check the size and the weight restrictions as well on the airline or the cruise line or the rail. If you're taking a train, they have luggage limits as well, so that you're not paying, hundreds of dollars to bring extra weight suitcases. And remember, there's strict rules as well with carry-ons and that. So don't try and just pack everything in a carry-on, because you can't bring a hair straightener with the batteries in it, or you can't bring gels and liquids, all of that on the carry-on that are too big. So you won't be able to do that. So, and also, you know, when you are packing, fill in the shoes, fill in the nooks and crannies and all the pockets. That'll make things a little bit easier for you.
Good planning. Now, more and more families are planning to take a cruise together. Cruises are turning out to be a great adventure. Is there an affordable travel insurance option to cover everyone from kids to even grandparents and the cost of the trip?
For sure, for sure. If you are a frequent traveler, you can buy a multi-trip plan that'll cover you for the whole year. You can go as many times as you want, and you know, back and forth, and that'll cover you all under one plan. You can have family plans as well, many different packages. You can do medical and cancellation interruption all together in one package. All of those will save you money. And if you're a CAA member, you can save up to 20% on our travel insurance as well.
I like that. Now, what about families staying within Canada this winter? A lot's going on in the States, so people aren't going stateside. Yep. Now, if you're visiting another province, why do you need travel insurance?
So you can still, you know, take benefits of the cancellation interruption. So, you know, if there's something that's non-refundable and you have to cancel, the cancellation interruption insurance can certainly cover you for all of that. Medical, you know, even people think, you know, well, we have OHIP. It covers us here in Ontario. It covers us across Canada. Yes, that's true to some extent. But if you need to take an ambulance somewhere, let's say in Alberta, and, you know, the ambulance could be, you know, a 50, 60 kilometer trek from where you are to where you need to be in a hospital, they'll charge you a fee for the ambulance, but they'll also charge you per kilometer. So it's kind of like a taxi service. So it could add up. You know, you could end up with a $500 ambulance bill, and they'll cover as much as OHIP covers. So if the rates are different in other provinces, the travel insurance will help cover you for the differences that come out of your pocket.
That's a great idea. CAA's Rachel Lalonde, thanks for doing this tonight.
No problem. Have a good day.
For more information on tonight's segment and past episodes of Ask an Expert, please visit our website at CTV News Northern Ontario.
It was a tough Thanksgiving weekend. If you're a fan of the Toronto Blue Jays, the team is now on its way to Seattle, hoping to turn things around in the series against the Mariners. CTV's Scott Hurst explains.
The Toronto Blue Jays now find themselves in desperate need of a win just to keep their World Series dreams alive. The team is now down 0-2 to the Seattle Mariners in the best-of-7 American League Championship Series. The Mariners feasted on the long ball, knocking out 3 home runs in Game 2 on Thanksgiving Monday, while the Jays' offense at times looked like it was in a food coma. Notably, in the middle of the lineup, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who was red hot against the New York Yankees just last week, has now gone cold, and the Jays have only scored 4 runs so far this series in 2 games compared to the Mariners, who've put 13 on the scoreboard over those 2 games. Fans, as you might expect, are disappointed in what they've seen so far, but not giving up hope just yet.
It's disappointing. They need a lot of work to have to figure out if they go back to Seattle. I don't know, it has to be a turnaround. I don't know. I just hope they can get their bats going again and things work out. But overall, the last 2 games, bad.
The series now shifts to the Pacific Northwest for the next 3 games. Games 3, 4, and 5 will take place on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And if the Blue Jays can win at least 2 on the road in Seattle, the series would shift back to Toronto for games 6 and 7. If necessary, those games would take place next Sunday, Monday. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
A new era of hockey hit the ice as Saskatchewan dropped the puck on the province's first competitive senior-level league exclusively for women. CTV's Allison Bamford on the special opportunity to play the sport longer.
I was definitely nervous.
Savannah Stevenson hasn't played on a competitive hockey team since finishing her U.S. college career in 2020.
Hockey was always an escape for me, so being able to get on the ice, I was able to leave everything at home.
And now she has that outlet back in Canada. This is the first game in the inaugural season of the Saskatchewan Senior Women's Hockey League. Before now, when girls aged out of university sport or the under-22 league, that was it.
There's so many girls that stop playing, stop being involved. It's just almost a sore spot because it's not there anymore.
This league fills a long-standing gap in a province that already has more than 100 senior men's teams.
This is step one, this is the groundwork, and it's going to become something, and we're a part of that first step.
Co-founders Jenna Merck and Megan LeBlanc built the league from the ground up, with the goal of giving women the opportunity to play competitively for longer.
It's going to be a learning year, everyone knows that, and it can only get better from here on out.
11 teams across the province will play 12 regular season games, structured to strike a balance for players.
We're mothers, we're family people, we have jobs. To have that season a little bit shorter condensed so that people can plan around their schedules and we can have good quality talent, I think is really important.
Players say the launch of this league comes at a time when women's hockey is booming. The NHL hired its first ever female coach last year, and the Professional Women's Hockey League is entering its third season.
If you look at female hockey in general, there's a lot of huge things happening, and I think this league is another monumental moment.
A league of their own that they hope will stand the test of time. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The numbers are out, and they might surprise you. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. Do you plan to spend more or less this Christmas? The retail outlook from Deloitte is now up.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
Teenagers on Instagram will now be restricted to seeing PG-13 content by default and will not be able to change their settings without a parent's permission. In a new announcement by Meta, kids using teen-specific accounts will see photos and videos on Instagram that are similar to what they would see in a PG-13 movie. Anyone under 18 who signs up for Instagram is automatically placed into restrictive teen accounts unless a parent or guardian gives them permission to opt out. For parents who want an even stricter setting for their kids, Meta is also launching a limited content restriction that will block more content and remove teens' ability to see, leave, or receive comments under posts. Vehicles today are safer than ever with systems designed to keep you in your lane, control your speed, and prevent crashes. All these added safety features are making cars more expensive to repair. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
Somebody behind me jumped the gun and he hit the tail end of my car.
Carolyn Riley Joseph of North York says it was in August when another driver ran into the back of her 2020 Jaguar E-Pace. The rear bumper was damaged, but the car did not appear to have major issues. She went to a body shop to get a quote for repairs.
The first quote that I saw was about $4,000 and change. He did tell me that, once I bring in the car to be fixed and they actually hoist it up, they might find further damage underneath. I totally get that.
She was then quoted $8,000, and after an insurance adjuster checked the car, she was told it could be as much as $15,000. Even though the Jaguar is only 5 years old with 75,000 kilometers, she was told it would be written off and she would get a check for $26,000.
I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, the airbags didn't go off. It's not extensive damage. There's no damage to the frame.
Her insurance is with Echelon. When we contacted the company, a spokesperson said, Echelon carefully reviews and evaluates every claim. Typically, the vehicle would be a total loss when the cost to repair it is higher than its actual cash value. However, it's not always practical to repair a vehicle, even if the cost of repair is less than its actual cash value.
A total loss is typically just the most economical way to settle the claim. It's just a mathematical decision.
The Automotive Industries Association of Canada says cars are being deemed a total loss more often as parts cost more and there are delays to get them. Repairs have also increased in price, and so have rental car costs. But the main reason is the complex safety systems which use cameras, radar, and sensors.
We have to replace many, many, many more parts than we ever did in the past.
Riley Joseph is frustrated as she still owes more for the car than what she's being offered. The insurance company is moving ahead with plans to write off the SUV, even though she feels it should be repaired.
Honestly, I don't think there's any need for my car to be written off, so I'd like my car to be fixed.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Entertainment brought to you by the Cinefest Red Carpet Patron Program.
A Sudbury country artist is up for 2 Josie Music Awards in Nashville.
Dear alcohol, it's me again.
Chad Rivette is nominated for a Songwriter Achievement Award at the Bel Air Mansion and a Social Impact Award at the Grand Ole Opry for his song Dear Alcohol. Rivette started his musical journey at just 6 years old and put his dreams on hold to care for his mother when she became sick. Now he hosts music writing nights at his home with other local artists, 2 of whom co-wrote one of the nominated songs.
I've been playing anywhere from 5 to 7 shows a week for the last 33 years. And then when my last kid moved out of the nest 2 years ago, I'm like, I'm going to give songwriting a shot. So I gave it a shot, and then I hit 8 #1 songs on radio. And I won 2024 International Entertainer of the Year in Atlanta last year. And then I just took a shot by submitting these, hopefully getting a nomination, and I got a nomination for both awards. So I'm pretty pumped, pretty stoked. My childhood dream definitely coming true.
Cousin Vinny's Restaurant is collaborating with the Sudbury Performance Group to host a benefit to help Rivette get to Nashville for the award ceremonies. The benefit is happening October 26th from 3 p.m. to 7, where audience members will get to see more than 15 local musicians. More music news now, spanning the generations. Here's David Daniel with this evening's Hollywood Report.
The Eras Tour wasn't when all the pieces fell into place. This tour was just when every single one of us who had done so much work, pushing inch by inch, to where we all clicked together.
A Taylor twofer. The docuseries Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour, The End of an Era will go behind the scenes on the superstar's record-breaking world tour, and Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour, The Final Show is just that, a concert film of the tour's last stop, including the entire set of the Tortured Poets Department. Both debut on Disney Plus December 12th.
Sweet Caroline.
An honor for Neil Diamond. The Children's Diabetes Foundation gave the music icon its Inspirational Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his longtime work with the group at its 39th annual Carousel Ball in Denver. The Goo Goo Dolls also performed at the event, which raised $2 million for type 1 diabetes awareness, care, and research. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
According to a new report, Canadians are planning to spend a little more this holiday season, but will be focusing on spending smart.
Most Canadians are telling us that they are still very nervous about the economy. They still feel like they're spending more than they should be due to inflation, but it's not translating into how they're spending. And this is actually a very healthy trend for us. Should it continue, as a country, we're showing resiliency and resourcefulness, which is a great thing for our economy.
The 2025 Holiday Retail Outlook from Deloitte Canada shows holiday spending is projected to increase by 3% this year, with spending on gifts and experiences up 2%. The survey also showed that Canadians will try to spend where there is a loyalty program or where they are getting additional discounts. The report adds that Canadians are feeling resilient and resourceful as they head into the holiday season. While there is uncertainty, they will continue to spend this year. A key deal in the gas sector is on track to be finalized by the end of the year. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more on that.
The deal that would allow Sunoco to acquire Parkland has passed a key hurdle. The $9 billion U.S. agreement would allow Sunoco, an American fuel distributor, to take over Parkland, a retailer and refiner based in Alberta. It has passed a review under the Investment of Canada Act, which weighs the benefit of foreign ownership in a Canadian company. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar didn't change much. It ended the day at 71.21. West Texas Intermediate crude is down 80 cents to 58.27. Western Canadian Select is down more than $2 to 47.77. And the TSX shot up over 500 points today, sending it back up over 30,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $33.73, closing the day at $41.4439 US an ounce. Silver down 83 cents, and copper up 2 cents to $4.82. Nickel down 5 cents, ending the day at $6.80 US a pound. Rick is back now for one last look at your Wednesday weather.
Well, Tony, you wanted a couple of days of sunshine. We've got it up until Friday when the rain sets into northeastern Ontario. Let's have a look. Sudbury, 12 degrees tomorrow. Timmins at 11, and Sault Ste. Marie mainly sunny at 13. Meanwhile, in North Bay, pretty well the same, 11, mainly sunny skies. Parry Sound clearing at 11, and Temiskaming Shores 11 as well, clearing in the forecast, mainly sunny skies. So, Tony, you wanted sunshine. We've got it for 2 more days. Back to you.
Good to hear. Thanks, Rick. A New Liskeard woman is celebrating a $1 million lottery win. Marcia Jane Desjardins matched all 7 encore numbers in a September 3rd draw. She has been a lottery player for over 30 years and says she was shocked to find out she won after she checked her ticket in a store. Marcia says she plans to invest her winnings. Congratulations. And finally, for us tonight, this guy in Wisconsin is diving deep into his Halloween spirit.
The joy that it brings in families' eyes. Parents, kids come over, have families that come over. Some come over every night in from September to October.
He turned his entire yard into an under-the-sea adventure. It includes glowing sea creatures and haunted shipwrecks. Big displays like this are a huge commitment, and he says he starts working on them in January. Well done. And folks, that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.